basically, you know, it finally got to a huge depressed state, because it's like, man, that's all you had. Decisions, you know, but I felt let down by the organization, bro. I felt let down. I felt betrayed. And I was like, man, fuck Mitchell. You know, fuck these other cats. You know, so that's why I decided to fucking cooperate.
All right, so my email is public. When you go to my About page, you can actually view my email address. I put my email on there for people to contact me for whatever reason. And I just received an email from a fan of a Convicts Perspective, the prison show that features Flacco and Rojo. Now, like I said, I don't know much about Rojo, but I do know that Flacco he did a video explaining why he was an informant, and I'm familiar with that channel. I've watched pretty much their entire catalog of videos over the last year, so I know his story inside and out. And the reason why he decided to become an informant is because the guy Lencho tried to have sex with his girlfriend, and Flacco got wrapped up in a case where he was going to do a lot of time. And instead of just saying, hey, I didn't want to do the time, I already had felonies, blah, 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 I just didn't want to do that, he decided to inform not on the guy who tried to have sex with his girlfriend. I mean, he informed on him too, but other people who had absolutely nothing to do with that situation. And here's the reality of the situation. Flacco and Rojo make a living from nuestra familia and gang politics and prison politics. These guys have forfeited their membership of these prison gangs, okay? When Flacco decided to become an informant, put on a wire, and put people in prison and take them away from their families because someone tried to have sex with his girlfriend, he forfeited his membership in the prison gangs, right? But he makes a living from what these prison gangs are currently doing. He analyzes these prison gangs. He keeps up with the news on them. He keeps up with indictments. He keeps up on what their leadership is doing. He keeps up with what individual members of the gang are doing, and he makes content based on that. He analyzes it and gives his opinion on what's going on. He infuses his personal experience with these people because he knows a lot of these guys, and he makes money from it. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is the fact that this guy, he's the kind of guy that actually put hits on people and got people hurt because they told, or because they came short with dope money, or because they did something wrong in prison, because these guys had shot caller positions. He would get people hurt, and he would put people's lives in danger. So when a guy tries to have sex with your girlfriend, all of a sudden you say, hey, I'm done, I'm going to put everybody in prison. No, the real reason you put these guys in prison is because you didn't want to go to prison yourself. And that's my problem with these prison channels. Now, I understand that I'm just one guy. I have a small channel. So, and these guys, there's a lot of fanfare for prison channels. A lot of people love these prison personalities because they like the entertainment and they like the stories, because these guys do a good job at telling stories. They tell a story so well that you can actually picture yourself being there. And there's a lot of men out there who love that. Like I said, these guys claim that they're doing this for children. The number one reason why they're making prison content is because they want to reach out to the children and let them know that this is not the lifestyle to live. But if you view the analytics, their number one demographic is men from 35 to 50. Children don't watch these shows. They don't watch their show, so they're not doing it for the children. They're doing it because they want money. They're felons, and they're too lazy to really do anything else constructive. And I feel you on that. That's a wonderful thing to do, to be able, I mean, if you have the charisma and you can tell stories very well, then yeah, you should make a living doing that, because that's a talent, that's a skill. I get that. But at the same time, if you were his friend, he would have got you put in prison, all because one guy tried to have sex with his girlfriend officially, but in reality because he just didn't want to do the time. And I don't like Flacco because he had a privileged life. Flacco's mother is a real estate agent. She had a lot. She's rich. You know, he didn't have to join a prison gang. He didn't have to dedicate his life to a criminal organization. He did that on his own. His criminal gang gave him his name, Flacco. He didn't come up with Flacco on his own. Nuestra Familia gave him that name. So at least change your name. If you put the prison gang that you were in, if you put those guys in prison, why keep the name that they gave you? You know, see, my whole thing is it's a certain level of artificialness that goes with this. They claim they're doing it for the children, but if you check the people, the demographics of the people who watch their videos, they're broadcasting to an audience of men 35 to 50. You know, these guys put people in serious jeopardy, put people's lives in jeopardy for something as trivial as coming up short with dope, not doing their workout, not exercising on time in prison, put their lives in danger, hurt people for snitching. You know, these guys had no, why do you think, Flacco has a teardrop? They had no problems killing somebody because they told. But when the heat comes down on you, you claim, oh, I told because this guy tried to have sex with my girlfriend. But you put other guys in prison who didn't have anything to do with that, though. You were wires. You know, you didn't want to go to prison because you didn't want to do the time. And the fact that these guys get to benefit from these prison stories and from the glorious reputation, the glory of these prison gangs, they get to benefit from it because the real guys are in prison doing their program. They're not allowed to talk. But these guys, they're hiding, they're scared, they're not in public like that anymore. They moved to different cities. You know, Rojo moved to Alabama. They're scared, you know. So, but they get to benefit from this content. The real guys who are really living that lifestyle, who aren't telling on people, they can't even communicate in public because it's against their bylaws. Everybody in the prison community is a rat. They're an informant. And I just don't respect people who, first of all, were privileged all their lives. They had money. They had access to resources. They didn't have to be a thug. They chose to be a thug because they thought it was fun. Then when the heat comes on, they put people in prison. Then they get an opportunity. They make money. They're able to monetize their previous experience. Meanwhile, the guys who stand tall and don't tell, you don't even know who they are because they're in jail or they're in prison. The only prison channel that I respect is Rob of Convict Inc. Convict Inc. is the name of the YouTube channel. He did 26 years in prison, and he carries himself with dignity, with respect. He's in his 50s, and he's a normal guy. He doesn't carry himself like a tough guy like Flacco. You know, Flacco still carries the prison mannerisms. When he introduces himself on a new video on his channel, yo, this is Big Flacco. You know, like he still carries himself. He tries to put a vibe out there like he's in good standing when he's not. And yeah, it's thousands and thousands of people who love to hear these stories from these guys. It's called hero worship. It's called idolatry. These guys are worshipped by a lot of people who send them donations, who, you know, give them money. You know, so yeah, I mean, I understand that when you build somebody up in your mind to be this hero or to be this amazing person, and you're actually financially compensating them and giving them your hard-earned money, you don't want to break that fantasy of, well, maybe this person is manipulating me. Maybe I should support somebody like Rob from Convict Inc. who actually did his time, didn't tell, didn't put people in prison, take people away from their families. You know, maybe I should support somebody like that. That's my problem. I don't hate prison channels. I hate guys who perpetrate and fake the funk, and Flacco is the perfect example of that. He carries himself like he's in good standing. He still has his vibe of a prison dude, when in reality you put people in prison and took them away from their families, and you knew the consequences of this lifestyle. You're smart. Your mom's a real estate agent. You knew right from wrong. It's not like you grew up in an orphanage. It's not like you grew up with nothing. You weren't a have-not. You were a have. It's not like you were this kid that had mental health issues and you joined a gang because you wanted to feel that familial bond because you didn't have a family. No, you were a rich kid that played in a game that you thought was fun, and when the heat came on, you couldn't handle it anymore. And I don't have any respect for you, especially considering the fact that you're making money and you're not even sending money to the good, honorable guys that you might still have good friendships with. Some guys might not even care that you snitched. They're in prison doing life. Hey, Rojo, hey, Flacco, send me a couple dollars. No, you're paying your bills. You're taking care of your children. So why is it that you get to take care of your children with hard-earned money from your fans that they donate and your monetization? Why do you get to take care of your children with the spoils and the gifts and the blessings of prison culture, gang culture, surviving that culture, when you betrayed that culture? Why can't the guys who did their time honorably benefit from that and be able to take care of their family with the proceeds from that? Why is it that the rats, the informants, the guys who dishonored the game, put people in prison, why do they get to benefit from the rewards of content about prison? If anybody should benefit, it should be Rob of Convict Inc. or anybody else who's similar. Peace.